Hello, everyone. Before I start, I would like you, at one point, to go subscribe to some of my favorite creators, um, because I want to support their channel as much as I can. And hey, figured I send them love, they might send me love. Don't know. Um, they're Andre Meadows. I would type in Andre the Black Nerd or Review Dale. Tyrone Magnus. Proud Magnus site right here. Um, Real Rejects. Let me see what else. Um, um, who else? That's all I can think of right now. Just go and show them love by checking out their videos, liking it, subscribe if you want, or don't. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Just give them some love, I guess. Not used to doing this whole shout out thing. Oh, by the way, if you have any idea for what a video that you might want me to do in the near future, message me on the back of my channel. I will make sure I get back to you. What is up, everyone? I am Lincoln Murphy. Welcome back to What's Lincoln Thinking? Today I'm going to be talking about nostalgia and what it means to me. Just a heads up, this video is going to have some pretty rough language because I'm talking about something I'm really passionate about, and that's my childhood. So, just a warning for anyone who's not a fan of mild to harsh language. Let's first talk about a show that ran for 15 years, running from 2000 to 2015, and that is the Nickelodeon show Dora the Explorer. Yeah, how do I put this? You probably heard that they're making it into a movie. If not, you have a life outside of movies, unlike me. Here's where the shit hits the fan. They hired Michael Bay to direct. Bay is technically producing it, but let's face it, what's the difference with him? For those of you who have been living under a rock for the past, let's say, 30 or so years, Michael Bay is a director and producer that has made some movies that you could call iconic, such as Armageddon with Bruce Willis, literally every Transformers movie within the past, let me see, it's 2017, like 10 years. Oh, and the reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's just hideous. Well, yeah. He also did a Pearl Harbor movie with Ben Affleck that got some pretty mixed reviews, I think. Either mixed or people don't like it, can't remember. Um, Either way, he's well known for fucking explosions. He loves to blow stuff up. I don't know if it's just a nostalgia critic joke, or a joke among film fans, but he may or may not have a fetish for explosions. I I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. So, he's also well known for over sexualizing the female leads, at least from the first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox onward. He also really enjoys casting Megan Fox because I don't know why, to be perfectly honest. Um, yeah. What I honestly see happening with him producing Dora the Explorer is that Dora's, instead of being like a 10, 11, I don't know how old she was in the show, year old girl, she's going to be late teens, early 20s. Boots, instead of being like this adorable monkey, may end up being a gorilla, or still an adorable monkey. Um, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with Swiper, 'cause, there's only so much you can do. Um, but there's one thing I'm pretty sure is might happen, and that is, something's gonna blow up. I bet it's Dora's the place where Dora needs to go. I'm thinking about the original show, and I I don't know, guys. That I think Michael Bay may have broken my childhood. Ugh. Um, yeah. So that's gonna be something. Before I get too tongue-tied with how uh hmm, oh god, with how Michael Bay that movie's going to be. By the way, that movie is set to come out in 2019. Just checked IMDb, didn't see a date, don't really want to. Um, yeah. Now on to the parts of my childhood I actually will enjoy talking about. Like, for example, um, the second Incredibles movie comes out next year. That's gonna be amazing because, at least for me, it's gonna be amazing. Me and literally every kid who grew up with The Incredibles and has been waiting for a sequel for it for 14 years. I could be 20. 20. Actually, yeah. I'll almost be 20 when it comes out. And you know what? I could be almost 30 when the thing comes out, and I will still look forward to it because it takes place right after the original left off with the Underminer. I gotta admit that's a pretty cheesy name, but hey, it's Pixar. What do you expect? Um, yeah. So that should be really, really fun. I don't have much to say about it because I don't know much about it. Besides, it's going to take place where the first one left off. Personally, I would love to see Sam L. Jackson come back and play Frozone. That is my personal opinion. And whatever. Time to move on to, let me see, what else? Oh yeah, Justice League comes out in a few weeks. Um, what's cool about that for me is the fact that I grew up on the Justice League animated series and Justice League Unlimited, which is in fact the movie's coming out 10 years after that animated series released its pilot episode. So, dope. It should be cool, especially because if the rumors are indeed correct, revolving around Superman. By the way, probably should have mentioned this before. Potential spoiler warning. Well, yeah. Um, if he does indeed get the Midnight Black suit from the comics, the '90s, uh, that would be dope as all hell because that will make him one a more powerful Superman because the black costume absorbs solar radiation easier and that's where he derives his power from. And two, it just looks so bad ass. Um, one thing I'm gonna say, please, please, I hope to God that he doesn't have the mullet. Like, I respect that they're trying to be relatively comic accurate like the MCU is trying to do. Well, comic accurate and more realistic, which actually works really well. Just don't turn him into a night just this random '90s stand-in with the mullet. No one, no one needs to see Henry Cavill with a mullet. I shouldn't be laughing. Um, the beard would be really cool though. And Steppenwolf looks like a really great villain. So yeah. I'm going to love seeing the Flash and Cyborg in this movie. If this movie ends up being nowhere near as good as I thought as any of us thought it will be, even though it's getting really great reviews so far, don't just blame Zack Snyder. Also blame Joss Whedon because he did end up tweaking it a bit near the end because either his daughter committed suicide. Um, my thoughts and prayers go out to you, buddy. But if there's one thing about the DCEU that's really gonna play into the next few movies that I gotta admit I kind of wish that they wouldn't do, um, making the solo movies ginormous plot lines from the comics. Like the first Flash movie, it's going to be Flashpoint. They're straight up making Barry fuck up the timeline to save his mom in the first solo movie. With as awesome as that is going to be to see live, make that like his second solo movie because we're gonna need time to actually get to know the Flash before we see Flashpoint. Also, it's gonna be it's gonna be pretty cool seeing the guy who originally played Doctor Manhattan in Zack Snyder's Watchmen movie play Henry Allen, Barry's father. Um, yeah. Oh, and the Green Lantern solo movie, Darkest Night. Oy, like I have nothing wrong with them doing huge plot points and well comic book plots and like condensing them. Personally, I think they could in the MCU they could have done that a bit more with Civil War. Maybe like instead of one movie, make it like two or three. Um, and that's just me. But in all honesty, um, the DCEU is looking up because of Wonder Woman. And by the way, um, fuck, don't. Oh yeah, that's right. No matter what happens, I'm gonna see every movie and enjoy every goddamn second. And you know what? I'll also admit what if there's flaws where there's flaws. But I think that the critics could have been a bit nicer to the DCEU before Wonder Woman Justice League. Let the fans hate it. Critics are supposed to paint a decent picture so that people will kind of want to see it, and then the fans can just shit on it as much as they want. I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm just saying, hey, maybe let people actually decide on their own what they think about a movie and base their opinions off that. But hey, potato. Because I just mentioned the MCU on a bit of a tangent, um, I kind of want to mention the fact that the MCU is having its 10th anniversary coming up with the release of Avengers Infinity War. So, we're all going to be 10 years for kids like me. We grew up with the MCU, starting with Iron Man up to now, so that we're this is like a huge payout to us. Besides, the first Avengers movie, seeing everyone come together, that will still make my inner 12-year-old just bawl. Well, not bawl, but definitely cry. Um, what should be so cool is that Josh Brolin plays Thanos. And anyone who knows anything about Marvel Comics knows that Thanos the Mad Titan is one of the most badass characters in the Marvel universe, except for maybe Galactus, because he's literally a galactic entity that existed pre-Big Bang. So yeah, but unfortunately, he's with Fox and the X-Men and Fantastic Four. So that what I'd love to see them do after they do Thanos and the Troll. I know he's not as much of a big villain because well they can't do Galactus, but Kang the Conqueror. have him be like a huge villain for like 2 to 3 movies, so that you can at least build him up to be a bit of a threat. Um, I'm not saying go full on like what they're trying to do with Thanos by making him this generation's Darth Vader. Those are some pretty ballsy statements, Russo brothers, but I respect them. Um, I'm gonna enjoy it because in Infinity War we actually get to see Spidey develop his Spidey sense. Let me see what else. Oh, Spidey's gonna be wearing the Iron Spider costume that was teased at the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Totally baller. And oh yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna team up with the Avengers as teased in the trailer. So imagine this. So this is what I see happening at one point, maybe like as a post-credit scene or whatever, to both like hype up the Skrull invasion and well, yeah, and just have a funny moment. Rocket Raccoon and Tony Stark having a drink at a bar while and we go full circle with Nick Fury coming out of the shadows, except instead of in Tony's house, it's at a bar, and say something like, "Be careful who you trust, because they're not who they seem to be," and then just have him creep back into the shadows, all Samuel L. Jackson and friggin' yeah, just all Samuel L. Jackson like, and yeah, oh, and also, if they kill off Vision because he has an Infinity Stone in his head, and he's kind of gonna have to die because Thanos is collecting all of them for the Infinity Gauntlet. Have Scarlet Witch just have a complete and utter like psychotic break because she's one of the few like she's in love with Vision. If and just have her unleash her full set of powers, like have that traumatic experience, unleash her chaos magic, every bit of it instead of this cool weird hand wavy stuff that we've been seeing since Age of Ultron. Because hey, Wanda Maximoff is a badass bitch. Like, yeah. And shout out to Elizabeth Olsen for playing her so beautifully. Oh, and I know this probably won't happen, but make Pepper rescue. Just do it. She's rescuing the comics. Hell, she even became rescue in Iron Man um, Armored Adventures, where they're all teenagers. Boy. What I kind of want to see happen with the DC and DCEU and MCU at one point is maybe have them come together like they did in the comics in the 90s and create the amalgam cinematic universe, even if it's just for a movie. I want to see Logan Wayne. I want to see Darkclaw. I want to see Hyena. I want to see Amazon. I want to see them all. I want to see Darkclaw because it's a combination of Batman and Wolverine. You have Amazon is a combination of Storm and Wonder Woman, as you can kind of tell by Amazon. There's actually Sparrow, a combination of Robin and Jubilee. So if they play it right and like have well, they can't do Jubilee, so they'd have to combine Robin with someone else. But either way, I'd love to see the Amalgam Comics temporarily become the Amalgam Cinematic Universe, even though that print hasn't been active since the 90s. I recently got into a show from my childhood that I haven't seen in a few years. Danny Phantom. I forgot how friggin' amazing it was. I can't even begin to describe how much I love the show, how much I loved it then, and how much I love it now. I'd love them to do a season 4 hashtag Go Ghost again. Nick, not Marvel, Butch Hartman, do your thing. I don't care if you have to cancel Fairly Odd Parents. Honestly, I don't think people would mind that much. Just and trash SpongeBob. Just trash it. Give us Danny Phantom season 4. I'm a huge fan, and yeah. Hell, I know what could be who could be the big villain. Dark Danny, Dan Phantom. Like, have it be like 10 years later. Have Dark Danny come back and just have him tear shit up. That's just a one fan talking. Can't speak for everyone. And I'm probably gonna get shit for this, but I still kind of like Power Rangers. Like, nowhere near as much as I did as a kid, but like, I now respect it for its face value of it being a kids show that is a little too goofy for its own good, but it like has some moments of heart and character, which the later seasons have actually done. I'm not talking about Super Mega Force or Mega Force because that was just a cash grab to a soulless grab for nostalgia purposes. Though seeing Tommy, Jason, um, seeing previous Rangers was pretty cool. For me, my Power Rangers besides the original, because you gotta have the original, is like Dino Thunder, Ninja Storm, SPD, Mystic Force, and Jungle Fury. Well, RPM was the last one that I really got into. But yeah, those are like those are my Power Rangers.